Hey guys, it's Emmy, and this week we're on Leviticus. What does one do with Leviticus? Leviticus as a book is sort of arcane. It describes these sacrifices that we no longer participate in, and this holiness code that for most of it we don't follow. That was really my struggle as I was reading for today and yesterday and ongoing as we journey through Leviticus is, why am I doing this? Do I want to do this? Do I think this is an important part of the canon? Where's the gospel in all this? My love for scripture that I have now has really been hard won. I've had scripture directly and indirectly used against me in my life. From a young age, I knew also that I was gay and struggled significantly with the passages that get thrown around in Leviticus, and as we'll get forward, in Romans and in 1 Corinthians and things like that. It's painful, and I wanted to know if there was something to reclaim in it. So that's what I'm wrestling with still, is what are the nuggets in Leviticus that I can walk away from? What's the central confession of Leviticus, and what does that mean for my life? So Leviticus, as this combination of the holiness code and the priestly code, has instructions for the priests and for sacrifices for holiness and maintaining them, and particularly has instructions in chapter 10. So the Lord spoke to Aaron, this is verse 8, "Drink no wine or strong drink, neither you nor your sons, when you enter the tent of meeting, that you may not die. It is a statute forever throughout your generations." This is the part that I really was struck by. "You are to distinguish between the holy and the common, and between the unclean and the clean. And you are to teach the people of Israel all the statutes that the Lord has spoken to them through Moses." If that is the theme of Leviticus, that we are supposed to, that the priests, but also then all of the people are invited into this priestly code, are to learn to distinguish between the holy and the common. And there's something to that there's an importance in speaking truth, that the people of Israel and that people of all religious faiths are called to make distinctions between the holy and the common, between the unclean and the clean. For me, that means pointing out injustice, that practicing mercy, looking for compassion. Is that part of that holiness code, that distinguishing between the holy and the common, between the clean and the unclean? That was one thing that really jumped out at me, and I thought, okay, is this the nugget I can walk away from Leviticus with? I was wondering as I was preparing this video if my love for scripture, I can sort of think of it as going to a party with 70 some authors, and some of them are kind of all off in the corner discussing and debating, and that's the J sources and the E sources figuring out how to write Genesis, and the writer of the Gospel, Luke, and I are like getting drinks together, we're having martinis at the bar. I don't think Leviticus and I will ever be swing dancing, but I think we've gotten to a point where we can sort of nod at each other from across the room solemnly and acknowledge each other's existence. Well, that's where I'm at with Leviticus. We're at the same party. Maybe someday we'll figure out how to dance. Thanks, guys. Peace. And of course there's Deuteronomy, and he's, doing this whole, guys, come on, let's everybody get along, choose life, not death, set before you blessings and curses, let's have a good time. No one will get the Deuteronomy joke. Do not use the Deuteronomy